minutes is just to give you a little bit more information about what My Pathway to Golf is all about. The key benefits for the children and the families, the key benefits for the coaches and the club. And this is all about recruiting children to the club and then hopefully retaining them so they become members for many, many years. Okay, so our purpose at Golphin, very, very simple. And our goal is to help golf clubs increase their junior golf participation. And although it says for 4 to 12-year-olds there, if there's any teenagers on the call tonight who are relatively new to the game, then the content of this is absolutely relevant to you as well. So we do this by providing a programme that hopefully inspires kids that want to go to Ranfurly for lessons and then to join up at the club. And it also empowers the kids to want to improve, hopefully, by climbing up our little pyramid of progression. It also empowers the kids to take ownership of their data and their results. And finally, all this is doing is helping the parent or guardian engagement by keeping them engaged with Stuart and the team and the venue, by keeping everybody in the loop through great communication. Okay, so what is My Pathway to Golf? Well, there's 4 main areas. The first one there is a fairly obvious one. So all about developing the child's golf skills, improving their mindset, a little bit of fitness in there, and also a little bit of their life skills as well. There's loads of activities on the app. So there's instructional videos, skills challenges, quizzes, self-assessments, and the all-important leaderboard. And communication is absolutely key to the success of the app. So Stuart and the team can communicate with the children if they're part of a group, or they can send them a message on a one-to-one basis as well. And the coaches can assign the children skill challenges or quizzes that they can do. The diary is in there with all the class dates and times. And all, again, we're doing here is cementing that parent and family engagement. And then progressions, obviously a little bit of an obvious one again. So at any time we can view leaderboards to see how the children are getting on and to track their progression as they go through the 6 levels on our little pyramid of progression. So this is our pyramid of progression, a really simple model. So it's 6 levels from bronze all the way up to diamond. Now, bronze at the bottom there is typically starting off with the little beginners, and they'll start off doing skills challenges, just basic putting, basic chipping, pitching skills. And that'll go all the way up to diamond, where the kids can be doing things like Phil Mickelson flop shots, plug ball in a bunker. And to align these skills challenges with the on-course challenges, we'd be looking for the children at the beginner level to be shooting sort of level 9s for 9 holes. So obviously a score of 81. And then silver to be shooting level 8s. And then all the way up to diamond, where it could be off the forward tees at Ranfurly Castle and to shoot level 4. So obviously a score of 72 or better. Now, this isn't a race to get through this. There might be a little 9-year-old, 10-year-old superstar on the call tonight that will get through these 6 levels in maybe 4, 5, 6 months. It might take other children 2 to 3 years. It doesn't matter. This is just a model so that we can all track the progress of the children as they go through the pyramid of progression and their development. Okay, now there's 4 main areas in the app for mums and dads and all the children to look at. And that's the 4 are learning, play, profile, and messaging. And we're just going to have a little bit more of a look at each of these. So the first one's learning, and we can see here in the first image that this child here has already completed their bronze level and they're 50% through their silver. And that'll only unlock to go to gold once they've completed their silver. And the kids can really relate to this if they play a lot of games in their Xbox, for example, where they can't go to the next level until the current one's complete. And then in the middle there, we're showing an example of a skills challenge. So it's a skills chipping challenge. And this is at silver level. So all the skills challenges are in video and narrative format. So a little video comes up with a little boy or a girl explaining what that particular skills test is. Now, ideally, the children will do all the skills tests under the coach's watchful eye at the golf club, on the putting green, the practice ground, the chipping area. But it's sometimes quite nice to send them one that they can do at home. And that's more apparent now than ever. Hopefully, we'll never get into another lockdown. But if we do, the coaches can engage with the kids 12 months a year And even in the winter, if the snow comes and kids can't get to the golf course, the coaches can still be sending them little challenges that they can do in the garden, or they can do in the local park, or they can even be doing little fitness videos in their bedroom, for example. And then when the child has completed a challenge, hopefully we'll get a nice, happy, smiley face, how much they enjoyed it. And then the child can feed back to the coaches what they did well, or what they need to do to become even better, or any challenges they faced when they were doing their little skills test. So lots of good engagement there between the coach and the children. Now there's a quiz section on the app, and the quiz section here is all yes or no. So it's a 50-50 chance, try and make it as easy as possible for the children. And there's 4 areas on the quizzes here. So the 4 main areas are manners and respect, otherwise known as etiquette, learning the rules, improve your skills, and the little bit that's cut off at the bottom there says, let's get active, which is all about a health and fitness little quiz. And in this section here, as I say, it's just a yes or no answer, 50-50 chance. And it's questions like, should I always rake the sand in the bunker after I've played my shot out of it? Or am I allowed to take my trolley across the green? Yes or no? So all we're doing there is teaching the kids terminology, particularly the very, very young ones who are just starting out in the game. And then the jargon buster section of the quiz, again, it's just 2 answers to choose from. So an example of one of those questions could be, what's the nicely cut grass called between the tee and the green? Is it fairway or is it rough? Dead easy. And then Stuart can maybe identify a few questions that maybe the kids have got wrong, and then they'll explain in a little bit more detail the right answer and why. And again, this is a good exercise if the weather's terrible and the kids can't get outside. Can take them into a nice room in the clubhouse and spend that 45 minutes or an hour doing the quiz. So no more having to cancel coaching on the actual day. So good news for mum and dad. If you've got a wee lunch planned for an hour, you can still get out there. Okay, and then there's the all-important leaderboard in the learning section of the app. So at any time we can see how the kids are doing as they go through the 6 levels from bronze up to diamond. And what I would say to any of the parents on the call here is just to make sure that the children are updating the results. So for example, let's say the kids were at the club today and they were doing 2 putting skills challenges, and they've all passed. All you need to do is go in and just literally click a button. It takes a couple of seconds and the leaderboard populates, and we'll see the kids going up there. The kids might want to run in at night, go out and play football or go on their Xbox, and nobody's updated it. So mum, dad, you can go into your phone or you can go into your iPad and you can do it for them. The last thing is we want, as I say, a kid getting stuck at the bottom of the leaderboard for 6 or 7 weeks, and it's only because nobody's been updating their score. So literally takes a couple of seconds to do. Okay, and then the next section is called play. And this is where Stuart and the coaches will put on course challenges on for the kids. So the first one there, we're showing a flag course challenge. And I don't know if many of you are familiar with flag competitions where the children have to go out and have to play 36 shots and see how far they get round the front nine, and then they put a flag in the ground where they hit their 36 shots, so maybe halfway down the 7th, for example. And then the bit in the middle here is where Stuart can create their own little golf course at the at Ranfurly Castle. So we are showing an example here of 5 holes, the 1st, the 3rd, the 7th, the 13th, and the 15th, because these holes are all really close to each other. So Stuart could do this for a 3-hole challenge, a 5-hole challenge, 9 holes, 12 holes, 18, it doesn't matter. It would be up to Stuart to set the parameters. So Stuart would physically go out onto the golf course, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday night when it's quiet, and the kids can do the challenge then. So Stuart would decide what the par is going to be. And then, so in this example here, this might be a group of silver kids, and Stuart would say, right guys, so tonight you're going to go out and play these 5 holes, 1, 3, 7, 13, 15, and you have to score 40 or better. So obviously an average of 8 a hole. And the kids simply go out onto the golf course and they play these holes and they submit their scores onto their phone, and hopefully they will have scored the required measure that Stuart put in place. Now, even if the really young kids don't have a phone or they're not allowed one in the golf course, dead simple, Stuart can just give them a scorecard and put a little circle around what holes they've got to play, and they just fill it in with a pencil as normal. And then when they come in, Stuart can upload it for them on his iPad or his phone, or he just gives the scorecard to the children and they bring it home, and mum and dad, you can upload it for them. And then hopefully the children will have passed their playing skills challenge. And if they've passed all their other skills tests and all their quizzes, once they submit their score, they'll get a lovely little congratulations coming up saying, well done, that's you now completed silver and you're moving on to gold. So again, great fun, great on-course activity, and good fun for the coaches as well, setting up the golf course at Ranfurly. Okay, and this one here is called Profile. So this is a little bit about the children and a little bit about their little bit of a self-assessment test. This is more about sort of growth mindset. So we've got an array of questions here where we ask the children to rate themselves from 1 to 5, and you've got a couple of example questions in the middle there. Now, this is not a quiz. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just a great way for the coach and the parents to find out what's going on in the children's little head as well. And the feedback we've had from the parents on this has been fantastic. Really, really interesting for the parents to see it. So there's lots of different subjects in here. There's health, there's fitness, there's their equipment, for example. There's the golf swing, lots and lots of great activity. And then the coaches can then feed back to the children and then give their assessment. So if Stuart was sitting here tonight and it was a cold winter's night as it is today, and they did this exercise today, Stuart can get into his app, have a look at what the children have said, and then maybe offer his feedback. So the children, one of the children might have given themselves a 2 out of 5, for example, and Stuart might go in and say, well, I actually think you're a 4 out of 5, and here's my reasons for that. And just again to the parents, that any communication between Stuart and the children, mum and dad, you will get a notification on your phone or your iPad, and you can go in and you can see all this great information that's going between the coach and your children. So gets you engaged as well, which is fantastic. Okay, and onto the profile. Onto the profile tab, and first image there, we can see in a snapshot at any time how many virtual trophies or awards the child has won. And then in the second image there will be the coach's profile. So this will be Stuart here telling you a little bit about himself. So it'll be, I've been a golf professional for 10 years. My favourite golfer's Tiger Woods, and my favourite hole at Ranfurly Castle's the 3rd, for example. But more importantly, Stuart's contact details will be at the bottom there, the pro shop, possibly mobile, email, for example. And then the third image there is effectively the child's calendar, which mum and dad, you will see on your iPad or your phone. Stuart's got the same in his, and all the children have got theirs. So all the class dates and all times are in here. So hopefully Stuart, so hopefully Stuart will maybe put all the class dates and times in, and then they're all there for you. But if Stuart needs to get in and make any changes, as soon as he saves it, again, you'll get a notification on your phone to say there's been a change to Saturday's class because of weather, for example. So we're showing a little example here, and that third image, that's the Friday Firecrackers class, and that starts on the 22nd of October, and that's going to be for an hour at 6 o'clock at night, and that's going to run weekly until the 15th of April. And as I say, if Stuart makes any changes to that, I'll automatically notify you. And then the last image there is we like the children to tell the coach a little bit about themselves. So how long have they been playing golf, who their favourite golfer is, what their favourite hole is at the golf club, for example. But again, and most importantly of all, is the contact numbers in case of emergency, and maybe even big brother or big sister's number on there if mum and dad are at work during the day. So really good safety measures in place as well. And just to show you a little bit about the messaging, which I've already talked a little bit about tonight, all that great communication. So the first image there is effectively the child's inbox. So Stuart can send the children a message if they're part of a group. So we can see here he sent a message to this little boy or girl who's part of the Friday Firecrackers group. And Stuart sent a message to the Friday Firecrackers group saying, great work at class today, everyone. And here's a little reminder of our shot safety video, which we discussed. And see you all next week when we'll work on your bunker play. And this little boy here is, so Stuart sent little Ben McPherson an individual message, so none of the other children can see this message. And Stuart's just sent a nice little message saying, great work today, Ben, well done. Your swing's improved massively over the last few weeks, but Ben's putting's been struggling a little bit. So Stuart said, but have a little look at this putting video ahead of next week's session, and then Stuart might spend a wee extra 5 minutes with Ben next week working on his putting. So again, lots and lots of good engagement there, and there's loads of videos in here that are golfing generic ones, but Stuart also has the ability to upload his own videos, and we always encourage the coaches, if they've got the time to do that, just to make it again a little bit more personal and to again really engage with the children and the mums and dads. And this just shows you how all the points are awarded for the leaderboard. So the children all get points for completing a skills challenge. They get points for passing quizzes, and they also get points, of course, for all the on-course challenges. And as I said earlier, when they've passed something, it all just populates